Hey everybody, welcome back to another SwissBricks YouTube channel video, and today I'm going to be going around and telling you or suggesting good Lego sets to buy maybe for Christmas presents or any kind of other presents that are coming up for the holidays, and yeah, just go through them by theme or price category or yeah, maybe just interests in general. So for the first category, we're going to be going over Batman. So if you have somebody that is a fan of Batman, then there are these cheaper sets. These are just the models of the different Batmobiles. There are even more than you see here. And these are generally speaking, yeah, pretty cheap. I think they're around $35 to maybe $65. So yeah, that's kind of the cheapest Batmobile that you can get. We do have the other Batmobiles here. These are a bit more expensive. This one is retired. The 1966 one back here, I think, was around $200-ish. The Tumbler here, I think, was about $250 or so. So yeah, kind of a big jump from these here, but you do get a lot more detailed models, and these are more display models, while these are, yeah, you can actually play with these here. And yeah, moving on to another Batman set. This is the Shadow Box, also a more expensive set. I think this was around $400 or so. And then you have the Batman ship here. This was, I think you can still get these around $180 or so on Bricklink, since it's a retired piece. Yeah, the Batwing does look super cool, but again, it's more of a display piece than something to play with, so keep that in mind. Depending on age range, that can be a factor. And yeah, if you have somebody that's kind of an avid Lego collector that's also a Batman fan, then the Joker Manor would be a super nice gift. These are going up in price. I think I paid around $400 US, so yeah, it is pricey, but it's a very cool set. It's retired, so also check out Bricklink for that if you can find something there. But yeah, it's a super cool set. I also have a review on it in another video that goes more in depth. But yeah, that's it for Batman. And let's move on to, if you have somebody that is a car fan, then yeah, we're going to start with the most expensive. These are the Lego Technic. This is the Ferrari Daytona SP3 and the Bugatti Chiron. These are the most expensive Lego cars that you can buy right now. They're about, I think, from Lego directly, around the $450 mark. You can check out Bricklink. You can get them for a bit cheaper than that. So yeah, super detailed. Have moving components on the engines, the doors open, the hoods open, and again, more of a display piece. You can roll them around, I guess, to play. They're not so fragile either, which is nice. And yeah, then we have some other Technic cars, like this is the Toyota Supra from Too Fast Too Furious. Yeah, these are, I think, around $75. As you can see, not as detailed as the big ones, obviously, but yeah, they have some nice features. You can open up the hood and the doors, and it does have moving engine components, but yeah, not very detailed. But this is kind of what you can expect for that price range. They also make race cars in it also. This is the McLaren Senna GTR. And again, these can kind of be display pieces, or you can play with them. Then we have some movie cars here. We have the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Then we have the Edgo one from the Ghostbusters. These are a bit pricier. They're also retired. But I think on Bricklink you can get them for, yeah, maybe around the $200 mark, maybe even a bit cheaper than that. So yeah, those are kind of the middle ground for having something really detailed, but maybe you don't want a Technic build. These are brick built. These are Technic pieces. And yeah, it's a bit of a different building process between the two. Just kind of, yeah, depends on what you like. If you like more technical, then get the Technic supercars. If you just like to brick build and have something that's maybe, yeah, a bit nicer for display, then I would recommend the brick built cars. And if you want something even cheaper than that, obviously Speed Champions make super nice models, I think. And they're also the cheapest. I think I would say around $25 to $45 gets you a nice Speed Champion set. Obviously they kind of range in price depending. Some come with just one car, some come with two cars. So yeah, but still really nice. They come with minifigures. You can easily play with them. So yeah, for maybe a younger kid, these would be super nice because, yeah, if you end up breaking a set like this, can take some time to put it back together. These are fairly simple. Not many parts, but look very cool. So yeah, that's kind of, if you have somebody that is into cars, or maybe into some of these movie cars here, then I would suggest those. And then moving on to Disney sets. We'll start with the bit cheaper ones here. We have the house from Lilo and Stitch. When I say cheap, it wasn't actually that cheap if you bought it directly from Lego. I think it was around the $100 mark. But it does come with some cool minifigures here, like Stitch. Yeah, you have Lilo, her aunt, Mr. Bubbles you have also. So yeah, it's a nice set. Probably more directed to a little kid because, yeah, you can play with it. It has a bit of an interior. Then we have the cottage here from Snow White. I would say this is also a really nice set. This is kind of a mix between a set you can play with and a set that displays nicely. This was a bit more expensive. I think this was around the $200-ish mark I picked it up for. Again, you can check out Bricklink for more updated, used even prices. Yeah, comes with some nice minifigures here. You have the Seven Dwarfs, you have the Witch, obviously you have Snow White, and yeah, would make a nice play piece also. One of the better Disney sets, I think, is the camera here. This is maybe not for a little kid, but just for a Disney fan. You have all the classical Disney movies here on the film, and I think the camera just looks super nice, and it makes a really cool display piece. It even comes with these minifigures here. That's kind of this, yeah, not sure what you call this. When they say cut on the film, you have that here that they all display on. So I think that is pretty nice. And obviously for the best Disney set, I would say, is the new Disney Castle. I believe this is retiring also, and now currently it's double points. So if you want to get it, I think now is a perfect time to get it directly from Lego if you get double points. Yeah, what can I say? Looks super nice, displays super nice, has a nice interior features, comes with these minifigures here, so also super cool. And this minifigure here, and I really like these firework parts there, makes it look really cool. And yeah, we also have the Beauty and the Beast castle here, also a nice one. It's a bit smaller than the Disney castle. The Disney castle I think goes for about, yeah, around the $400 mark. So yeah, it's a bit more expensive than the Beauty and the Beast castle, which I think was around $200-ish, $250 maybe. But each comes with some nice minifigures. But yeah, I would recommend those to maybe not the young kid, because again, if they break, they're kind of a pain to put back together correctly. It's more of someone that yeah, likes to look at it but doesn't want to really play with it too much. I think that would make a perfect gift for a Disney fan. Moving on to maybe someone that's a fan of superheroes. We have the Marvel collection here. Also, yeah, no shortage of gift ideas for Marvel. We have the Marvel sign here, which yeah, is more of a display piece. As you can see, I've also added some of these minifigures, so these are not the minifigures that come with the set. So maybe a more boring set for someone that, yeah, either wants something to play with or wants some kind of character from Marvel. As you can see here, maybe they're a Spider-Man fan. I think this would be super cool for any kid that is a Spider-Man fan, or even adult, obviously. Or we have Venom here. You can even combine the two. I think that would be a pretty reasonable price still for a type of gift. Obviously, I think it would be super cool for anybody to get that. And if they like Guardians of the Galaxy, here we have Star-Lord, his helmet here. We also have Rocket and Groot back here. I think all these are around, yeah, let's say 70 to 80 US dollars. Groot and Rocket I think are even a bit cheaper than that. And yeah, also look super cool. And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, we have both of the ships here. These are, I think, really cool. They're really fun to build, and they, yeah, display nicely, I think. Again, I would not maybe play with them too much. You can pick them up and fly them around a little bit without them breaking apart. You can open them up and you can put some minifigures in there. So they do have some play capability. Those are a bit more expensive. I think those are around the $150 to $180 price range. So yeah, a bit more expensive. And then obviously I would say for the ultimate, we have the Hulkbuster here, which is now retired, so you can find that on Bricklink. They are pretty expensive. I think they're around $400 to $500. Then we have the Black Panther. I know not everybody is a fan of how this looks. I think it looks pretty cool, but also retired and the more expensive set. I think they're around $300. Then we have Captain America's shield back there. Also a super cool set, I think. But yeah, mainly display piece, and I think that would be a good piece for anybody that's yeah, a Marvel fan. I think that's a cool thing. You can actually make it display pretty nicely, maybe in yeah, the entrance of a house or something like that. And if you're into art, we have the Spider-Man wall art, which is also not too expensive. I think that was around maybe $120, and the Captain America shield, I think I picked that up for maybe $150. So yeah, kind of the middle tier, I would say, at least speaking of Lego prices. Yeah, they're even maybe towards the cheaper side, which is kind of crazy to say, but yeah, those for Marvel fans. Obviously the gloves here, they're also retired. They're maybe about $80-ish. Yeah, more display pieces, not really anything to play with as far as the Marvel sets are concerned. So yeah, moving on to, let's go to some space sets. We have the Space Shuttle Discovery. I think this is a super cool set. Yeah, you can kind of play with it, I guess. You can open it up a little bit. You can fly around with it. Yeah, it's not so fragile, but obviously makes a really nice display piece. And you also have the Hubble Space Telescope that comes along with it, that you can also store inside here. So yeah, I think that's a super cool set for anybody that's kind of a space fan. Then we have the launch pad here. This is yeah, the NASA SLS rocket. Again, not really anything you can play with, but does look super cool. Makes a really nice display piece, but you kind of have to have a dedicated area for it, I think, because it is pretty big. It's pretty tall. You don't really want to end up knocking it over. It is somewhat stable, but again, kind of have to watch out for that. The price for it, I think, was around $280 or so, if not a little more. And the space shuttle, I think, was around $250. And yeah, if you really want to go for a big set for a space junkie, then I would get this Artemis rocket. It's super cool. It breaks up into many different portions, like it does in real life, and it's super nice to display. You can even have it standing up on its boosters or rockets. And yeah, if you want to get a cheaper space set, then the astronaut back there would be the set that I would suggest. You can play with it, you can move it around without it breaking. I think that would be a good one for a younger kid that's into space. And it's also pretty cheap. I think it's around $30 to $40 or so. So yeah, that's what I would suggest there. If you like buildings, then there are plenty. It kind of depends what kind of buildings they like. So I'm gonna flip the camera here and show you all the different types of options when it comes to buildings. Okay, so speaking of buildings, it depends on if your kid or boyfriend or whatever is a fan of superheroes. Then you have the X-Mansion, the Daily Bugle, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the Avengers Tower here. These are kind of the, I would say, coolest superhero themed buildings that you can get right now. The X-Mansion I would put in last place of them, just from looks, building, fun, and yeah, price also is not the best on it. I would suggest for a median price, either the Sanctum Sanctorum or the Daily Bugle. The Sanctum Sanctorum has some really nice details in it, and it looks really cool. Also comes with some great minifigures. I think it's around $250 or so. And the Daily Bugle, I think, is a bit more expensive than that. Obviously, it's quite a bit bigger, as you can see. But it is more repetitive with all these glass tiles here. But it also has some really nice detail. And also comes with some really nice minifigures. So yeah, for the lower priced options, I would suggest these two. This I think I picked up for around $180. I have to say the building was not so fun. It does come with these minifigures that you see here with it. So yeah, pretty good minifigures. But again, I think from looks alone, it does not compare to these two. And if you have a bit of a bigger budget, then I would suggest the Avengers Tower. This is one of the best Lego sets, I think, that have ever been made. It's super cool. It has a ton of detail on the inside. You get a lot of minifigures with it. You even get the Quinjet that you can see stored here. And yeah, just a really nice set. You can even open the whole thing up on the front here and look inside if you want to. But yeah, this is obviously the most expensive of all the buildings that are from superhero themed movies. This was around $550 if I recall. But yeah, as you can see, it just really towers over the other Sanctum Sanctorum, and yeah, it's even a lot taller than the Daily Bugle, which is already a tall set, and just has so many details in it, so many different floors of the building, and yeah, comes with some really nice minifigures also. So if you have a bigger budget, I would definitely recommend this set. I think anybody that likes Marvel or the Avengers or anything like that would be super happy with getting the Avengers Tower. And moving back here, we have the Arkham Asylum. This just recently came out. I think it's around $300. Yeah, it's a good set. Building it was pretty fun. Comes with some nice minifigures. But if you're looking for like bang for your buck, I mean, yeah, you can see the size of this and the size of the Avengers Tower. No, it doesn't come with Santa and the reindeer. That's from a different set. But yeah, if you have somebody that likes Batman, then I think this would be the building option for that person. Comes with this police van here. Obviously the Joker, the Riddler, many different types of Batman, the Penguin, they're all included in this set. So yeah, some super nice minifigures with this set. Then for somebody that likes maybe just having buildings that are fun to build, modular buildings are a great option, I think. Here we have the first one. I don't know all the names of these just off the top of my head. But this one is currently still on sale on Lego's website. This is a super nice one. I really enjoyed building it. I think it looks really aesthetically nice. All these, yeah, the red roof, these white and dark brown or black tiles there. I think give it a really cool, like, European style vibe to it. I think if you want like a little old-fashioned building, then that would be a good one to pick up. Obviously they have full interiors. Then we have the boutique hotel here. This one is retired, so you'd have to find it on Bricklink or something like that. Also looks super nice. Has this outside cafe area, full interior, comes with some nice minifigures, and so yeah, that's a nice set too. But I think it's around maybe $200 or so. All these are kind of the same price as of lately. Not much difference. Then we have this one here. So this is probably one of the bigger ones. This is included, and this is also part of it. So everything you see here is one modular building. This is a little cafe here. This does have more detail in regards of having a fountain and having a little flower store on the side here and having a little pretzel shop on the bottom. Again, full interior. Yeah, not much to say there. It's kind of what the person likes aesthetically. Some of them look a little nicer than others. Then moving on, we have the jazz club here. Obviously, this is from this line here all the way to here. That's all one modular building. It has a super cool little retro vibe to it, of like an old jazz club. Again, full interior. You have this little greenhouse at the top here. And yeah, just some nice detailing here with the little scooter for the pizza shop. Yeah, another nice set. And moving on to the Natural History Museum. I think this is one of the nicer ones from the outside also, but from the inside you do have some dinosaur skeletons that you can see on the inside. I can see if I can open this up here. It doesn't really open up that easily with one hand, but yeah, there are some dinosaur skeletons in there. And you do have these nice banners here on the side, and just some nice detail like this window cleaner and the other banner here. The backs of them are all pretty plain and simple, but I don't think that's a big problem. It's the front and the interior details that count. And this is kind of what they look like all lined up with each other. This is kind of the idea behind the modular buildings, is you can connect them all however you want. So you can make your own little city. Moving on to Harry Potter buildings. We have the Gringotts Bank here. I think this would be a super nice set for a Harry Potter fan. It's a bit expensive. I think it's around $450 US. So you get the top part of the bank here, and you also get the mine area here that you can sit the bank on top of this stand here. That's what it's made for. Here you can see the inside, pretty nice detailing, and the dragon obviously looks super cool. But yeah, this I think is one of the most expensive Harry Potter sets that's still available. And you have Diagon Alley here, also expensive, but you get all of this included in it. So yeah, it's it is a pretty big set if you look at it like that. They're not fully enclosed buildings, so they do have the open backs, but nonetheless they have some nice detailing in there and do come with some nice minifigures. So yeah, I think this was around the $450 mark also. So yeah, not cheap, but if you want to get something for a Lego Harry Potter fan, then I think this would be perfect. As you can see, you can combine them. So they also made a Hogsmeade, which I still have yet to build, but that is essentially the same concept as this, just the Hogsmeade location. And you could also make that on the side here, make a little village of Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley next to Gringotts Bank. And speaking of Harry Potter, we have some other sets here that are maybe not so expensive. We have the Expecto Patronum. Looks super nice. You can also make this into a wolf. In the building instructions, there's it for the wolf and the deer here. Comes with these two minifigures, which is nice. You can also get the spider here. This was a cheap one. I think that's around $20. Expecto Patronum I think was around $60. Then you have the Hungarian Horntail here, which does have the feature of moving its wings while you spin this here, which is kind of a cool feature. This was also not very expensive. I think this was around $40. Comes with Harry on the broom here being chased by it. So yeah, more of a display piece, but looks super cool. Then you have the flying car here with Ronald and Harry, and the owl, Hedwig. This is probably the set for a little kid, I would say. You can play with it, you can put them inside the car, you can move it around however you like, and it's cheap. I think this was around $15 or so I picked it up for. Yeah, obviously, if you want some really cool Harry Potter sets, you have the collector's edition Hedwig. This is Harry's owl in the movies, so you get the golden snitch, the wand, Harry's glasses, and some potions here on the back, and the books, and obviously Hedwig. Looks super nice, really cool display piece, but it is expensive. You can't buy it from Lego anymore. I think it's retired, but I would say you'd have to spend about $280 to $330 on it. Yeah, check out Bricklink, then you can see on there where you can get it for the cheapest. And obviously you have the collector's edition Hogwarts. This is one of the most fun builds that I've ever built, and as you can see, I have built quite a few Lego sets, so that does say something. Really cool details, really nice scale, I think. Yeah, you have all the stained glass here in the main hall. You have the nice tower, and it just looks really nice, I think. The price wasn't actually too bad when it was out. I think it was around $350 or so. So yeah, you do get a good bang for your buck, I would say. And another set that I think is one of the best ones is the Hogwarts Express. This is the ultimate collector set, and it comes with the ultimate price. I think I paid around $450, I think, or maybe even $500. but yeah, it's a super nice build. It looks fantastic. Makes a really nice display piece, I think. The train cars also have a full interior, so that's really nice, and comes with some great minifigures. You can also take the train station stand and move it around if you'd like, or even take it off completely if you don't have any room to display that. But yeah, this is one of the nicest Lego sets that I've probably built. You can turn that thing there and it'll actually move the wheels on the train without the train moving. So that's a super nice feature. So yeah, that's it for Harry Potter. We'll keep on with the movie theme and go to Jurassic Park. I would say if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to something with dinosaurs, then these fossil skulls here would be super cool. The T-Rex looks really nice, as does the Triceratops. I think these are around $50 or so. So yeah, these are probably the cheapest ones. Then you have the T-Rex Attack diorama here. This is retired, so you'd have to look at Bricklink to pick this up. I think it was around $120, if I'm not mistaken. I actually got this as a gift as well, so I was super happy since I'm a Jurassic Park fan. And if you want to spend a little bit more, then you have the whole T-Rex skeleton. This was, I think, $300 or so, give or take. Looks super cool. As you notice, maybe the head on it is pretty much the same as the fossil there. So yeah, you can just see kind of where the price difference lies is in all the parts, and it looks super cool. Comes on this nice stand here with Alan Grant and Sattler, forget her first name, I think Ellie. So yeah, super cool set. And if you want something a little bit older, but it's also a bit more expensive, is this set here. This was the T-Rex Attack, but you have the main Jurassic Park gate there in the back, and you get this T-Rex here. So it doesn't look as cool as the fossil, I think, but yeah, it's a bit of an older set. Comes with the plaque here with the minifigures, which is really cool. But this set, I think, will set you back around $400 to $450 on the used market. So yeah, this is probably for the ultimate collector for Lego Jurassic Park. And moving on to the last theme, we have Star Wars. I think starting off with the cheaper sets here, we have the Droideka next to the Star Wars logo, and you have the child up there from The Mandalorian. Those are probably the cheapest Lego sets from Star Wars that I own. I'll just give you a view from back here, how they would look. I think the Droideka was around 70 US. The logo was around 80, I think. But yeah, again, these are just, relatively speaking, the cheapest ones. Also, the helmets are not too expensive, but if they are retired, then yeah, the prices can go up a little bit. But yeah. Moving on down, we have Chewbacca, we have kind of the characters back there, Yoda, C-3PO, R2-D2. Those are getting a little bit more expensive, I would say about $120 to $180 range on those. The R2-D2 is even a bit more expensive because that's the kind of the UCS version. Now they have made a littler version that's more to scale with Chewbacca and C-3PO, which is a bit cheaper. But yeah, that's kind of a preference thing there. And again, the helmets, some of them are retired, so the price does change on those. But you can get some of them still. And I think they make really cool display pieces. Moving down, we have Jabba Sail Barge and the Ewok Village. So the Ewok Village, that's retired. It's been retired for a long time now. It's an expensive set. I think it's around 500 to 550 US dollars, and Jabba Sail Barge, which does not come with these sets here, but it does come with all these minifigures here. I think was around $450 to $500. Does have a full interior, really nice details. So that's yeah, is a really nice set, but again, more of a display piece, not really anything to play with. But we have the Sarlacc pit here that comes with the speeder and the Sarlacc pit and some nice minifigures. That was a bit cheaper. I think that's around $60, and that is a really nice play set. Moving on down below that, we have the UCS Razor Crest and the Master Builder series, I think it is, Mos Eisley. Anytime you hear UCS, that means probably the maximum price. So yeah, the Razor Crest I think is around 550 US dollars. Really nice set to build. Not really anything to play with, more of a display piece again. But it comes with full interior, super nice details, and it's also one of the biggest Lego sets. I think it's almost or around 6,000 pieces. And then we have the Mos Eisley Cantina here. Comes with, I think, 30 to 35 minifigures, which is super cool. And yeah, not too much detail in it, but for display, you can even play with it, I guess. But mainly as a display, it looks really cool too. And coming down below that, we have the ATST. That I think was around $200. So yeah, pretty expensive for what it is, I think. You could maybe play with it for maybe some, not a really little kid, but yeah, maybe like a teenager or so could play with it without really destroying it. Then in the back we have the AT-AT, a really big set, looks really cool on display here. Yeah, this is expensive. If it's not retired already, which I do think it is, I think it was about $700 from Lego. And on the used market, it's even more. I've seen them even go up to $900. So this would be like, yeah, maybe a Christmas and birthday present. But nonetheless, a really cool one. And on the bottom here, in the back, we have the Snow Speeder, which is from the same scene in the Star Wars movies as when you also see the AT-AT. This is retired. It's been retired for a while. This I would think is around the $200 to $250 price range. But yeah, looks really cool. Looks a bit different. But just keep that in mind. It's mostly a display piece. Then we have the new Death Star that recently came out. This obviously the most expensive Lego set that they've ever released. So it's $1,000 US with over 9,000 pieces. Yeah, this is obviously more of a display piece. You can kind of play with it. It does have some cool interactive features, but mainly I would say it's a display piece. Moving down below that, we have Luke Skywalker's speeder here and the Imperial gunship. I would say this is around the $180 mark. It's not the best building experience though, but you could play with it. It's yeah, it's a pretty stable model. You can take it off its stand, and it does come with Luke and C-3PO as minifigures. The gunship here does take up a lot of space. It's not really to play with. Some pieces can be a bit fragile. It does come with, I think, 2 minifigures. So these that you see here I've added, those are not included. But yeah, it's a big piece. It's also very expensive, I think, for what it is. I think now that it's retired, it's about $350 to $400 range. So yeah, pretty expensive. And probably the ultimate for any Lego Star Wars fan is the Millennium Falcon. This is the newest one that they've released, but it is retired. This, I think, when it was new, was around $600 to $650. But yeah, it has, I think, 7,500-ish parts. Does come with some nice minifigures here. And does have some nice interior details that you can lift off these coverings there. But yeah, takes up a lot of room. Not really something to play with, more for display. And one of the more expensive sets. But if you want something that's a bit cheaper, then I would recommend these mini scale ships here that Lego offers. Some of them are retired, but there are also more that I don't have here that are on sale still. These, I would say, apart from this one, I think this is about $120. And these, I think, are around $70, I think, for the Millennium Falcon. And these, I think, are a bit cheaper than that. So I would recommend those. You can play with these without them just falling apart. They don't come with any minifigures, so just keep that in mind. But those are kind of the cheaper alternatives. And here we have the Slave One and Boba Fett Starship, or Jango Fett Starship, excuse me. This one is a bit newer, this one a bit older. So this one is a bit more expensive. I think this was around $350, while this one I think is around $300. But yeah, both look really nice. You can take them off the stand and kind of move them around without breaking them apart. As you can see, you can put the minifigures inside. That one has a bit more room than this one. But yeah, also really nice to display. And moving up, we have the Imperial Shuttle and the TIE Fighter. I think the TIE Fighter is probably one of the best Star Wars ships for the price. I think this was only about $180. So yeah, looks really cool. Comes with a TIE Fighter pilot and displays really nicely. You can pick it up and move it around to play with it a little bit. So it is sturdy. Then we have the Imperial Shuttle. This is probably the top tier gift or purchase. These are very expensive, especially if it's new and in the sealed box. They can be upwards of $1,000. I think I paid around $1,000 for mine, plus replacing some of these yellowed bricks here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The white can fade and turn into a bit of a yellow. That's not so nice to display. Then we have the X-Wing, probably known by every Star Wars fan. Also retired, I think, by now. This was around $220 or so. Looks really cool, super fun build. Then we have the Y-Wing, it's been retired. This, I think, on the used market now is about $450, but you have a ton of detail here in the ship's body, and looks really nice. But yeah, a bit more of the pricey side. And here we have the other Imperial ship. This is the TIE Fighter, I think it is. Forget the name. TIE Interceptor. Yeah, it looks nice, but this is a pretty fragile set, I do have to say, when moving it. When moving all my Lego sets, actually, this is the only one that actually broke apart completely, because these connecting areas of the wing to the cockpit there are pretty fragile. So that's something to keep in mind. You could not play with it really without it breaking apart, and when it does break apart, it is a pain to put back together. So yeah, just to keep that in mind. And I thought I'd also show the Lord of the Rings sets off just shortly, because I think they are some of the nicest looking ones. This is Rivendell. It's also one of the biggest Lego sets. I think this is over 6,000 pieces. And yeah, the attention to detail, the color choice, everything about it is super nice. Makes a really nice display piece. I think anybody that is a Lord of the Rings fan would really love this. It is expensive, don't get me wrong. Since they don't make it anymore, I think it's around $500, maybe $450 if you're lucky. So very expensive, but yeah, really worth it if you look at some other sets and their price. And then we have Barad-dûr here. Also a big set. Does come with a lot of pieces. I think it's about just over 4,000 or so. It does have a totally different look, obviously, than the colorful Rivendell. This is just mostly black with the lava down here. Does have a nice interior though on the back that you can kind of, yeah, make some nice scenes, play even with it a little bit. But mainly I think it's a display piece. And it has one cool little feature here on the back, if I can get it. It does come with a light brick, so you can light up the eye of Orthanc. So that's a really cool feature. I wish you could keep that on all the time. But yeah, I just thought I would include these, because I know there's kind of a lot of Lord of the Rings fans out there, and I think these are some of the best Lego sets ever made, period. Regardless if you like Lord of the Rings or not, I think it makes a really nice display piece. So I thought I would just include those also. So I hope you guys like this in-depth look at all these different kinds of Lego sets, and I hope it maybe makes some Christmas shopping a bit easier. I do have some in-depth reviews on most of these sets on my YouTube channel, so if you want something a little more in-depth on a particular set, just go ahead and check those out. But yeah, a lot to choose from, a lot of different price categories with Lego, and yeah, some may be more worth it than others. But I hope it helped, and if you enjoyed this video, please give a like rating, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.